Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6:30. This is the regular May the 9th meeting of the Rockport City Council. I'll ask you to stand with us as we do the Pledge of Allegiance. We call the meeting to order. Councilperson Jackson, would you lead us, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a seat. Establish the presence of quorum. We'll have roll call. Ward 1.
Here.
Ward 2. Ward 3.
Here.
Ward 4.
Here.
Mayor here. Next item on the agenda, we have a proclamation for National Kids to Parks Day. Whereas May 20th, 2023 is the 12th Kids to Parks Day, organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the third Saturday of May. And whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families to get outdoors and visit local parks, public lands, and waters. And whereas we should encourage children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat issues of childhood obesity, diabetes, hypertension, and hypercholesterolemia. And whereas Kids to Parks Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and outdoors. And whereas Kids to Parks Day will recognize the importance of recreating responsibility while enjoying the benefits of the outdoors. And now, therefore, I, Tim J. Rowe, Mayor of the City of Rockport, do hereby proclaim May 20th, 2023 as National Kids to Parks Day in the City of Rockport, Texas, and encourage families to visit local parks, public lands, and waters. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Rockport, Texas, to be affixed this 9th day of May 2023. Do we have folks here that would like to have this presented to them and get their picture taken for the newspaper?
Mayor, I'd just like to say we've got a great summer program with different events, also Lemonade Days coming up. And so we've got a lot of activities and a lot of pathways. But I guess I'm the only one here for the Parks Department of the Rockport.
Well, all right. Well, I have got that right here. Let's go over there and let Mike take a picture. Yeah, I love this picture. Short on news for Saturday's initiatives, it would be 3 columns. All right, next, Historic Preservation Month. And it's in small print. Whereas Historic Preservation in 2023 is a reminder that preservation is more than just buildings. It's about our connection to the places that are special to us all. And whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for revitalizing neighborhoods, fostering local pride, and maintaining community character, while enhancing livability, and whereas it is important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals in helping to preserve the many aspects of the heritage that has shaped us as a people, and whereas awards for Historic Preservation 2023 are co-sponsored by the Aransas County Historical Commission, the Friends of the History Center, and the Aransas County Historical Society. Now, therefore, I, Tim J. Rowe, Mayor of the City of Rockport, Texas, do hereby proclaim May 23rd as Historic Preservation Month and call upon the people of the City of Rockport, Aransas County, to join in their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this special observance. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Rockport, Texas, to be affixed this 9th day of May 2023. And we have someone from our History Center here that I can give this to. You come up here, we'll be glad to present this to you.
We could have representatives from the society too. Reverend Red.
Okay.
Lucky me.
He's wearing a jacket for a reason.
Look, yeah, always do good.
Yeah.
This next one, we've got a lot of people here to get their picture taken. Proclamation, whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities, and to the public health and safety, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the city of Rockport. And whereas this infrastructure, facilities, and services cannot be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are employees at all levels of government, who are responsible for rebuilding, maintaining, improving, and protecting our city's public works systems such as water, wastewater, streets, gas, public facilities, and fleet services. And whereas it is the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children of the city of Rockport to gain knowledge and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works programs in their community. And whereas the year 2023 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association, and the theme Connecting the World Through Public Works, and whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the significant role that public works professionals play in providing the systems, services, and facilities essential to our overall safety and quality of life. Now therefore, I, Tim J. Rowe, Mayor of the City of Rockport, do recognize the week of May 21st through May 27th, 2023 as Public Works Week in the City of Rockport, and further extend appreciation to our public works employees for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the City of Rockport. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Rockport, Texas, to be affixed this 9th day of May, 2023. And I have got a group of folks here. Mike, you folks going to come up?
Yes, sir. Mayor, thank you so much. Those that work in public works are called the silent heroes. They serve silently. As you can see, our group is sitting in the back quietly. We've got both men and women that serve every day within the city of Rockport. You saw some of the pictures up on the board. They don't work in the most glamorous locations around town. They work in the muck and the mud when things need to be done, and they help keep our infrastructure safe, and they take care of all our regulatory compliances. So to those of you that did show up, I appreciate it, and I'd like all of you to come up and participate in a group picture with us.
Tell y'all while y'all are coming up and everyone else is listening. When I first moved here, I came here.
She can dress up sometime.
And Billy Dick, Public Works Director, came in not long after I did. And Billy told me one day, he said, you know, you think the police department's pretty important, don't you? I said, well, I hope so. I've been doing it a long time. He said, tell you what we'll do. Monday, we will turn off the water at the sewer plant. And we will see who calls the city first about a problem, whether it's the police department or the Public Works Department that they call. And I'm sure it would have been Public Works. I didn't want to get in that argument with him, but I hushed my mouth and didn't consider myself so important. Next item on the agenda, citizens to be heard. At this time, comments limited to 3 minutes will be taken from the audience from persons who have signed a speaker's card located at the table at the back of the training room of the Service Center, delivered to the City Secretary before the meeting begins on written comments received by 4 o'clock on the day of the meeting on any agenda item or any subject matter will be read at the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council and who have registered using the citizen participation form will have up to 3 minutes to speak. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, council may not discuss or take action on any item that's not been posted on the agenda. While civil public criticism is not prohibited. Disorderly conduct or disturbance of the peace are prohibited by law shall be cause for the chair to terminate the offender's time to speak. Do we have any? So we have none. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There's no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Does anybody have a item they wish to have removed? I will do that. Anything else? Item number 8 is an ordinance which needs to be read, deliberate, and act on second and final reading of an ordinance amending the official zoning map as stipulated under Article 4.1 of the City of Rockport zoning ordinance number 1027 by changing the zoning of land from planned unit development, PUD, with R5 second multifamily dwelling district used for property located at 1724 FM 3036, also known as LaSalle Estates, PUD, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas, to planned unit development, PUD, single-use overlay district containing 80 attached single-family dwellings, townhouses, along with such features and amenities, repealing all ordinances in conflict therewith, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. Do I have a motion on the consent agenda?
I move to approve to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question or debate? If not, I'll call for a vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4?
I'm abstaining for conflict of interest on agenda item number 8.
Mayor, aye. Passes with one abstention. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing. We will conduct a public hearing to consider a request from Jessica Pham and James M. Elkins for permanent closure, abandonment, vacation of a portion of Sweet Bay Avenue lying between lot number 32, block number 4, Denver Heights subdivision, and lot number 17, block number 7, Denver Heights subdivision, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas. It is 8:43 and we are in a public hearing. Does anyone wish to speak on this matter?
I will address it, Mayor. The city received a request from Jessica Pham and Mr. Elkins for closure of the portion of Sweet Bay Avenue. Our ordinance stipulates that a public hearing must be held, and immediately after the public hearing in the same meeting, the first reading of the ordinance is to be read. If you'll notice on the cover sheet, we did not receive the appraisal yet, so the public hearing can be conducted, but when you get to the agenda item about the first reading on the ordinance, you need to council should postpone that till further date when we get the appraisal. And I don't think, no one has signed up to address the concerns about the closure of the street, so we'll wait for the appraisal.
All right. Anyone here have anything to say on this matter? All right. We will close the public hearing and it's 6:44. Reading to make sure I'm not going to the next. Okay. We have to pass item number 10.
Postpone.
Postpone, yes.
Motion.
Until next council meeting.
And until we receive the appraisal.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further question or debate? Call for vote. Ward 1?
Aye.
Ward 2?
Aye.
3?
Aye.
4?
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Item number 11, deliberate and act on a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into negotiations with PGAL for engineering services and Teal Construction for contractor services to provide underground fiber to new city hall. Kimberly.
My mind just went blank when I looked up there. Apologize. We basically had a plug-and-play system for internet coming into our building, and we've considered another option as to doing underground fiber, which we will eventually connect to another grant we have going further down the line with the MITMOD funds. So this was our first step in getting City Hall into the underground fiber network. And so we have a quote from the engineers for $6,000 to do the engineering work portion of that. And then additionally, we have a tentative quote of anywhere between $8,000 to $12,000 for the construction of that. Teal has not give us a formal quote because they don't have the formal drawings, because we don't have the engineer, so that number's kind of iffy at this point. I have requested a maximum of $20,000 for engineering, for construction, and thereby should not have to come back to y'all. But none of these funds are funds you would need to come up with within our budget. It is already in our budget for City Hall. And I'm trying to scroll through. In the soft cost, we have sufficient funds within that budget line item already. So the $6,000 for engineering and the $20,000 for construction could come from our soft cost already in the budget. So it's not a budget amendment for you. It is just that because the scope has changed, we wanted to bring these agreements back to y'all for formal approval.
All right. Questions, council? If not, I'll request a motion to pass a resolution authorizing the contract negotiations to take place at an amount $26,000 or less.
Make a motion to approve agenda item number 11 as read.
I'll second.
I have a motion to second. Any further question or debate? Call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Item number 12, deliberate and act on first reading of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Rockport, Texas, authorizing the acceptance of credit cards for payment of fees, fines, court costs, and other charges, providing for a processing fee for payment of fees, fines, court costs, and other charges by credit card, providing for service charge if a payment is not honored, providing for severability, providing a repealer clause, finding and determining that the meeting at which this ordinance is passed is open to the public as required by law, and establishing an effective date. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We have been looking at different ways to consider saving money, and this is one of the options that has been brought forward. So over the course of the last several years, there's been quite a bit of money spent at the general fund and utility fund expense, and not at the customers who are utilizing these services. We do offer services at no cost, such as direct deposit withdrawal or ACH withdrawal from your accounts, and they're obviously coming in paying cash check. These are options at zero cost to anyone. However, those individuals who still want to use the credit card, it is option, but what we're proposing is that those fees would be transferable to the customers that are using those fees and not necessarily the general public.
Okay. Questions?
This is 3% fee, or?
What was being proposed is 2.5%.
And this is in line with what some of the county offices are doing right now as well.
So I did not look at the county offices. Some of the staff looked at other cities, municipalities, and it is in line with other municipalities: Victoria, Austin, Ingleside, Portland, things of areas, some cities our size, some larger and quite a bit larger. And this is in line with the other municipalities.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Other questions? If not, do I have a motion?
Move to approve item 12 as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further question or debate? Not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4.
Aye.
Mayor, aye. It's unanimous. Item number 13, deliberate and act on elimination and reclassification of positions within the Public Works Department. Mr. Donahoe.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council. During the budget preparation for this fiscal year 22-23, there were changes made to our organizational chart that covered some senior level retirements that occurred over the last year. With the recent departure, Trader, of the Assistant Director of Public Works that is now our Parks and Recreation Director, I met with the city manager and went over our organizational chart and came up with an idea to streamline our organizational chart, change the title to certain positions within our organization, add some managerial supervisory responsibilities to 2 positions within the department, and add additional duties to the remaining Assistant Director of Public Works. You have a breakdown on the cover sheet that talks about the financial savings involved. This is a total savings of almost $61,000 a year, and it streamlines our process. In discussing this with the city manager, she has encouraged me to work with supervisory training, management training, leadership, and personal growth for the individuals that are being considered for these new responsibilities, and we will do that as we move forward. And you have a copy of the old organizational chart and the new organizational chart in your packet, if anybody has any questions.
Questions, council?
Oh, go ahead, please.
So Mike, is this an automatic change, or is those folks that are assuming supervisory positions as they meet requirements for these new job descriptions? So what's your timeline for this? Is
Yes,
this like
this is
tonight?
automatic. The folks, they're changing their titles from utility production supervisors to utility production managers and given additional managerial responsibility with those new titles. And on the assistant director, that assistant director is been given additional managerial responsibility over all utilities within Public Works. And they already meet the requirements for the positions.
So this would happen immediately upon
Yes.
Is
There
it,
is some growth plan in there that, some certifications that she, they imposed in 1 year of taking the position. Sorry. So there is a specific growth plan for any deficiencies. You guys know the utilities are important, and we're not gonna be lacking in those areas.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I'm looking at Ryan. He's not falling out of his chair back there, looking at his new responsibilities.
it does look confused.
But Vanessa, I know at one point we had discussed, you were looking at like our exempt and non-exempt employees and how all that classification, is this in
Correct.
alignment with your goals?
It is, so it eliminates 2 supervisory positions. We've got, directors, assistant directors, supervisors, managers, crew leaders, team leaders. So, we're looking more like a totem pole than an org chart, so we're trying to spread that out a little bit. It eliminates 2 supervisors, and it changes 3 people's position. Those 3 people, as they move into that position, they will go to exempt employees, because that's where they belong. Now, we're not doing the whole organization, but as anyone is hired in new or moved in, then they're put in the appropriate classification, just because we haven't had time to do the entire structure. But yes, ma'am, those are putting those in line, and their pay will be adjusted with their new titles, with their new duties, and with the understanding that they are now exempt employees.
Thank you.
And we still realize the savings.
The other question?
Looking at the savings of 61,000, close to 61, are we on target for the salaries and hourly pay rates, even though we're realizing a savings? I mean, could that money be spread to those positions?
Okay, the money, I'm not sure what you're asking. Are we on target with other cities?
Correct.
Absolutely. We absolutely pay very well for what we're doing here.
Okay.
The people that are moving are being justly compensated for the new positions. You know, we give you a job description, and that's what
Sure.
we pay you to do. And so we've given them a new job description. We'll pay them accordingly. We are also making up for the fact that they no longer receive overtime. So those new people will be in line. Now, do some of those people have to work to get a little bit higher? Yeah, you gotta bring me a certification that's required for your job before I'm gonna give you that raise.
Okay.
But,
So is the 61,000, is the elimination of some of the managerial spots and putting them at, is that where the savings are realized?
yes,
Is by the
it's the elimination of the 2 positions. So we've eliminated 2 supervisory position. We've elevated 2 managers into a supervisory
Two
position.
supervisors, managers, we have 1 existing assistant director, and we did away with a manager's position, and we added another utility maintenance technician to give us a total of 3 employees at the wastewater treatment plant.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Carrie's still an assistant director, so you have 2. But,
different.
but yes, does that answer your question?
Yeah, I see that we're realizing a savings. I just wanted to make sure that we are in line with areas around us and,
Yeah, I think we've done a fair job of compensating people for their job.
okay.
And if someone's job is changing, if they're doing more than is in their job description, I think they will immediately be compensated justly. That's just how this works. We're not here to short anybody.
Any further questions?
I think the only other comment I had on this is, and one, I think it really, really looks good, and I was kind of doing a deep dive into it. One, I laughed that there's still 2 lines holding up Ryan's new position, because it's heavy. So
Right.
administratively, I mean, that's a lot of employees. I mean, just job evaluations on an annual basis. So are we looking at administrative support for that
Say-
assistant director?
Well, so he has the administrative support. If you'll see off to the right, there's a whole administrative staff that starts with Candace, administrative supervisor. So there's 5 administrative techs in that department, and they are not necessarily exclusively for Ryan, but they are for those things because Carrie has her own administrative staff. So yes, Ryan is gonna be asked to do a lot, and I'm gonna expect a lot of him, but he's gonna have help. Those guys aren't gonna let him fail, are you? Both of them said no.
They'll do evaluations and take care of daily activities with the employees and such. That's what their new responsibilities will be.
Okay.
The biggest
I
part
support
is
the
we're
plan.
moving you into a new position, and we're gonna teach you how to lead and supervise those people, because that's what we need to be doing, and I think that's important.
Sounds good.
I don't see anything that goes outside of the span of control. But, so I guess that's where Danielle was headed with, his org chart going down, but I'm good with it.
Other questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda item, was it 13 as presented, second?
Yes. I have a motion, to have a second.
2 seconds.
I didn't hear it for sure, okay.
I'm
I have a motion and a second, any further question, debate? If not, we'll call for a vote. Ward 1,
Aye.
Ward 2,
Aye.
Ward 3,
Aye.
Ward 4,
Aye.
Mayor, aye. Next item on the agenda is city manager report.
I'll start with, we don't need an executive session tonight. Teresa and I both are not, don't have anything to report, so y'all can strike that. I put 3 things in front of you. I'll try to make it quick since it's a quick meeting. The first one is our road repair schedule map. This is pretty new to me, and I wanted to make sure everybody had it. We have it digitally where you can see better, but your wards are all represented. And if you flip to the back, you can see when streets in your ward are scheduled to be, not necessarily upgraded, but at least tended to. Okay, so that's item 1. Item 2 is the budget calendar. As you can see, some of those dates have already passed, so we actually distributed the information to departments, yesterday, maybe. Yes. On the 8th. So we're on target for this. So you can look at that, tell kind of when your meetings are gonna be. We're gonna have to start scheduling some work sessions. So be thinking about your free days, and we'll be asking for those pretty soon, but we're on track with this calendar. Hot fund applications have been sent out to the frequent flyers. While we're on the topic of hot funds, if you open this one, you guys approved $500,000 for downtown restrooms. This is what I came up with. As you will note, it is more than $500,000. However, I'm doing a phased approach to it. The restrooms and the kiosk will be, we'll allocate the $500,000 that you sent this year towards those 2 items, and then I'll be coming back year over year until we complete the project. It's a sustainable park. We have a rain catch barrel. If we can size it correctly, we're gonna use it to flush the toilets. If not, we'll irrigate it. We'll do something with it. Pervious pavers throughout. And then the thing I'm most excited about is if you look at this, this is recycled wind turbine blades for the seating. It's no more expensive than standard seating, but they cut these blades horizontal, and they use the organic shape of it to make the seating elements. And you would be shocked if I told you how little it costs to get our seating for this park. So that's the plan, unless somebody has a major amount of heartburn. I'm gonna run with it. The other thing is I potentially have a private donor to maybe complete the whole thing. I mean, we gotta talk, but, you know. So if you guys like it, that's what we're gonna do on Main Street. I'm sorry?
What's the total?
Don't have it.
Oh, we don't have a total budget?
No.
I mean, I know we gave you five, or we.
The
we allocated
500,000 has to get the restrooms as designed. So that's the only objective of this year. The next ones, they'll phase them in I'm gonna ask for 500,000 a year, and we'll do $500,000 increments until it's complete, but I don't have a total cost for you yet. A guy we all know is working on it, and his name is Alan. What? What's his last name? Byer. Alan Byer is working on it. So y'all all know him, right? No? Okay. Anyway, he swears he'll have something to me very soon.
Other questions, comments? All right.
I'm gonna ask the tree committee to pay for the trees.
All right. Great. It will be a big asset to the city to have that project completed downtown. It's been called for a really long time. We appreciate your work on it. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is reports from council. Start with Ward 2.
On May 1st, we had a Stormwater and Floodplain Management Advisory Committee that I was able to dial into remotely. There was discussion on the Aransas County Comprehensive Drainage Plan as well as others, and I believe you were there in person. Is that correct? Okay, I'll defer the rest of that to you. Also, May 3rd and 4th was the Hurricane Conference and exercise in Robstown, and I have the privilege in my day job to help put that event together, but I just wanted to thank all of the City of Rockport staff who made it out there. It was a great turnout from everybody. I know I talked to Lee. It was great to see some of the dispatchers get out of their cave and get to come out. So anyways, great job, great turnout, and I look forward to hearing from you all what you took away from it and how we'll get ready for this coming hurricane season starting in a couple days, a couple weeks. That's all I got, Mayor.
Thank you. Ward 2? 3? 2 again.
Monday, the 15th at 10 a.m. We have a ribbon cutting for the Key Largo Bridge, a project that was much needed and much anticipated and took a little while, but it is there now, and most are happy. But we're gonna have a ribbon cutting there to open the bridge. I think it's been traveled on right now, but ribbon cutting there. About all I got.
All right. Ward 4?
I don't have much. I was asked to just get an update on the final stages of the pipe that was being done in her ward, and then if there was, what was the budget look like? Was it under budget, over budget?
We had a closeout meeting with the engineer today. We don't have the final cost to determine whether there's cost savings to do another project over there. But we did have a final walkthrough today. The weather wasn't really cooperative. We had a few faux pas due to the weather. We had some construction materials in place that were blocking a storm drain. We had to go out and remove those blockages so we could get a little bit of water off the road.
Was that on Champions? Was that on Champions?
Yes.
Okay.
But I do not have financial totals as of yet.
Okay. All right. I think that's all I have for my ward right now. Thank you.
Everybody, when you get that, please.
Right, once we get that, once we are ready to accept the project is complete, then we'll have the final totals and everything, so.
Mayor, I'm gonna add one more. Sure. The Orleans Street drainage project, Mike, you wanna touch on that? Got a pre-con meeting and.
We had a pre-construction meeting this morning with Guerra Underground, who's the contractor. They are also the contractor that was working on the Concho Street drainage. We got a signed tender agreement last week or so from merchants, and we had a very productive pre-construction meeting. The engineer was present, and we should start seeing movement probably sometime around June 1st. and that takes over all the GLO drainage projects. And so there's 6 different projects, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll put together a schedule, and they'll be ready to go. And like I said, we should start seeing movement around June 1, and that's huge for us. That's being able to put, something really ugly behind us and start moving forward, so.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Their notice to proceed was May 1st. They just think that they didn't want to order any supplies until they had their signed tender agreement. That was a process.
Certainly.
So that's why there's a little bit of a delay. So hopefully we'll see something earlier, but
Okay.
we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. They're working hard out there.
I told them to drive around with heavy equipment. Just drive through the neighborhoods so people could see them, so.
Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all very much.
As we mentioned a little while ago, the Stormwater Drainage Advisory Committee for the county met back the first week of the month, and we discussed again drainage issues going on, and I think it is really nice to sit through those meetings and see the entities all working together with the intention of coming up with a master drainage plan that will benefit the city, as opposed to all of us sitting around trying to figure out how to work with the problems that we have individually and trying to find funding for it and get the work done. And I think that is going very well. And I'm proud to see it and appreciate the work that everyone has done. Our city manager, along with the road and bridge director from the county and others, are working really hard together to find a solution to drainage problems in our county. And we are looking forward to that actually starting to work as we can come up with a plan and get it done. Ward 1.
I did ask to go last tonight, since this is my last city council meeting. I want to let everybody know it has been an honor and a privilege to sit in this seat for 2 years and take care of the business of Ward 1. I've been able to get a lot of things done in Ward 1 that benefit everybody, and it's some things that they've been asking for years, in particular the restroom downtown. Our CAD has exploded this last 2 years with things going on. Downtown, his second Saturdays are just taking off and getting better and better every time. I mean, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in Ward 1, south of 12th Street. Public Works Director. But drainage, stormwater. All right. Anyway, but it's been a joy, it's been a privilege, it's been an honor. The city staff has been great. I have never, ever been told, basically, get out of my office, or you're smoking hookah. I've been told no, which is fine. But, we've all worked together so well. I greatly appreciate it. And am I going to miss the job? Yeah. Am I going to miss the stress? Oh, hell no. But it has been my honor and privilege. And this is my last city council meeting, so thank you all very much. Thank you. And I'm not going anywhere. Follow my blog.
But you are gonna move us to adjournment, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
all time's
And
sake.
when he's ready.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Motion to adjourn, please.
Second. Will we have an executive session? I was making sure she said no. We do not. Very good.
Free to go.
I have a motion and second. We adjourn. We're through. It is 7:09.